Do you struggle to control your emotions? Have you ever felt overwhelmed or gripped by severe anxiety or panic? Have you also struggled to understand why this is? In this video, we'll be taking a closer look at the work of Dr. Paul Gilbert and his emotional regulation systems theory. We will be talking about the neuroscience behind the theory, how this theory can help better explain our emotional responses, and we'll be discussing some practical tips to help feel less anxious and more in control. So let's get started. Think of your brain as having three core emotion regulation systems. We might think of these systems as three different operating modes which we can move between during our day, with each mode correlated with distinct physical changes in our body and our emotions. The first mode is the threat system. This is your internal alarm system. It is hardwired to detect danger and protect you, triggering an automatic fight, flight, or freeze reaction. Imagine yourself encountering a hungry bear in the woods. Your brain sends a lightning-fast message to your body to release adrenaline and cortisol to various organs, and your heart starts pounding, your muscles tense, your breath quickens, your digestion slows, and your senses sharpen. This is the work of your sympathetic nervous system, also known as the fight, flight, or freeze response. It is a complex network of nerves that kicks in during stressful or dangerous situations, preparing your body to act fast to face the threat or flee to safety. If we feel we are unable to escape or the predator is too powerful to fight, we might also experience a freeze response, also known as tonic immobility, where our only remaining option may be to stand very still and hope we are not seen or provoke a predator response. This system is associated with powerful emotions such as anxiety, anger, or even disgust. These emotions are also associated with powerful biochemical drivers called hormones and neurotransmitters, such as cortisol and adrenaline. Our threat system is located in what's known as our limbic system in the center of our brain and includes a small almond-shaped structure called the amygdala. The amygdala is our very own fine-tuned alarm system, and when this alarm system senses threat or danger, it sends a lightning-fast message to our autonomic nervous system to release adrenaline and cortisol in the body, preparing us to attack or escape. Now, whilst we may not be facing a bear regularly, we do face threats such as large unpaid bills, or a worry about what someone else may think of us, or a pressing deadline at work, and so on. This system can also be triggered when we attack ourselves, such as putting ourselves down through self-criticism, or when we experience powerful emotions such as guilt or shame. While the fight or flight response is essential for survival, prolonged stress can keep the sympathetic nervous system overactive, leading to increased perceptions of danger in the world around us and feelings of anxiety. The second system is the drive system. This system plays a crucial role in motivating us towards achieving goals and acquiring resources. Like our threat system, we are hardwired to identify and acquire resources needed for our survival and well-being, be it food, shelter, social connection, or financial security. The drive system also pushes you to pursue what you perceive as desirable. This can include anything from finding a partner, attaining a new car, gaining a promotion at work, achieving personal goals, or even learning a new skill. It thrives on setting and achieving objectives, and when we achieve these, the feeling is pleasurable because our drive system releases the feel-good neurotransmitter dopamine. This system is located in the nucleus accumbens and is part of the reward center of our brain and is associated with emotions such as excitement, anticipation, and joy. If our drive system is in balance with our other systems, we are achieving and performing at optimal levels, and we can remain in steady pursuit of our life goals. However, if this system becomes out of balance or dysregulated, we might experience increased feelings of threat or apathy, which can decrease motivation. We will talk more about this shortly. Our third and final emotional regulation system is our soothing system, which helps us to feel at peace, safe, and content. Threat and drive are essential, but if these systems are constantly active, we would soon exhaust ourselves and burn out. So our soothing system helps us to apply the brakes on these other two systems, allowing us to rest, digest and recharge. And it is associated with nurturing, social bonding and kindness. As mammals, we are hardwired to give care, receive care and form strong social bonds, and these qualities are also essential for our survival. For example, newborn babies are born helpless and their survival is wholly dependent on being provided with milk, then solid food, protection and guidance. Throughout human history, we have tended to operate in family and social groups through the means of cooperation. Social bonds helped ensure early human survival. Sharing food, caring for infants, and building social networks helped our ancestors meet the daily challenges of their environments. If we fast forward to today, the nurturing of our infants is still essential for our species to survive, as is cooperation. For example, research shows us that being a member of a well-functioning team at work, one with clear team and individual goals, that meets together often and that values the diverse skills of its members, reduces stress and increases performance. So just like we have an inbuilt drive and threat response, we also have a built-in rest and relaxation response. This system is triggered when our parasympathetic nervous system is activated, prompting the release of the hormone oxytocin. When oxytocin is released by this system, we feel calmer, more socially connected and secure. For example, when we receive or give a hug, bond with a close friend, family member or group, or carry out an act of kindness or compassion. This system is also associated with the release of endorphins by the hypothalamus and pituitary gland in the brain. These feel-good hormones and natural painkillers can also help regulate our threat response and cortisol levels, and are activated by various activities including exercise, laughter, or listening to your favourite music. So not only does this feel-good system play a vital role in the survival of our young and our ability to form strong social bonds, it also helps us to apply the brakes to our threat and drive systems and down-regulate our emotions after a stressful event. Compassion teaches us that being human comes with a variety of stresses and no one is totally immune to suffering. As we progress through life, our experiences, which may include difficult childhood events, can throw these systems off balance. For example, during periods of prolonged stress, our threat system can be stuck on overdrive, making us feel constantly anxious, panicky, or quick to anger. At other times, our drive system may dominate, pushing us into relentless striving with little space for rest, making us feel exhausted, on edge, and burnt out. Or we may be constantly bouncing between our threat and drive systems in a state of what is known as threat-based drive, where we are locked into a do more, be more, achieve more cycle to escape feelings of anxiety or low self-worth. Dr. Gilbert suggests that when these systems dominate and our soothing system remains underdeveloped or underused, we can begin to feel completely out of balance and without the inner tools to cope with stressful times. Let's take a look at an example of John and what happens when our drive and threat system are out of balance. John was constantly put down by his father growing up, and his mother was very absent. John was also bullied at school on account of his height. These events left John feeling that he was simply not good enough and unlikable. John retreated to online gaming and programming, where he found some refuge and purpose. On leaving school, John got a job at a local software company where he took a high-paid role as a software developer. After a few weeks, John began to question whether he was up to the job and would become extremely anxious when speaking to senior colleagues. John began to compensate for these feelings by striving for perfection in everything he did, which worked for a while and led to a promotion to a senior position. However, John was working longer and longer hours with little time for rest and relaxation, and he found himself constantly worrying about whether the work he was producing was good enough, leading to sleepless nights. When he eventually made a mistake on a software release, he responded by putting himself down even more telling himself what an idiot he is and how this proves he is not up to the job. John's drive and threat systems were fully activated over a prolonged period, and he began feeling increasingly anxious at work as he set higher and higher standards for himself which he could not meet. He was now feeling constantly exhausted and on edge, unable to sleep, and the slightest thing would leave John feeling tearful and panicky. John began to dread going to work, and he became more and more irritable with himself and his colleagues. As John's symptoms of stress and anxiety became more and more acute, John eventually visited his GP, who diagnosed John with burnout and advised him to refrain from work for 6 weeks. Whilst on sick leave at home, John became increasingly low in mood as he ruminated on what a failure he believes he is and how he is letting his colleagues down at work. He began noticing his motivation lowering, and simple tasks such as taking a shower or eating breakfast became more and more difficult. John's drive system was now becoming underactive as his symptoms of depression began to deepen. Now, this example is quite extreme, but it shows us how, if our drive and threat systems begin to constantly accelerate away without any brake being applied from the soothing system, we will begin to feel out of balance. Take a moment to look at the model on the screen. Consider how much balance there is between each system in your life presently. So, if your systems are in healthy balance, that is wonderful, and you may not need to watch the remainder of this video. However, if your soothing system is being underused, how might you better develop your ability to self-soothe to help keep you in balance and foster your resilience to be able to ride out the ups and downs of this life? Dr. Gilbert's theory is not about punishing yourself for your emotional struggles. It is about understanding how our tricky brains and physiology work, and if your soothing system is underused or even neglected, how you might learn new skills to purposely train and strengthen it so you can remain more in balance no matter what life throws at you. There are many ways we can cultivate our soothing system, and I will show you 3 methods as a starting point. I will also be making a separate video on how to activate your parasympathetic nervous system, so if you are enjoying this video and would like to learn more, please subscribe for updates on this. These changes are made possible through neuroplasticity, which is our brain's ability to continually adapt, evolve, and reshape itself over our entire lifespan. By taking purposeful action in a particular area, such as regularly practicing a new skill, we can actively change the neural networks in our brain and create a new and healthier habit. It is certainly possible, therefore, to learn how to self-soothe and emotionally regulate, and then practice these skills. Imagine your mind is like a garden. If we neglect it, it will grow regardless, but maybe in a way that we do not want or like. However, if we dedicate a little time to intentionally cultivating and nurturing it, it will steadily grow in the way that we want. Now, of course, a well-functioning threat and drive system are important for our survival, and the idea is not to weaken one or the other, but to ensure there is a healthy balance between all 3. The first exercise is to learn how to gently activate your parasympathetic nervous system and downregulate your stress response through purposeful deep breathing. Purposeful deep breathing methods have been scientifically proven to help regulate our emotions, lower blood pressure, improve heart rate variability, and calm the mind. One method is called soothing rhythm breathing, which has been developed by Dr. Gilbert, and I've made a separate video on how to do this, which includes a guided exercise alongside some calming images and music. The link is in the description below. If you would prefer an alternative to soothing rhythm breathing, another very effective purposeful deep breathing method is called box breathing, which is used by US Navy SEALs in high stress situations to help calm the sympathetic nervous system and regulate the stress response. A link to this is also in the description below. This method may also be used in real time during high stress periods to help maintain balance between our threat, drive, and soothing systems. A second method is using calm or safe place imagery. There is considerable research showing that imagery can have an enormously powerful effect on our minds and bodies. Research also shows that imagery can be very powerful in triggering emotions. Our brain is not very good at distinguishing an image from reality, so it will often process and respond to an image as if it is something occurring for real. For example, clinical research shows how rescripting negative images of past events into positive, present reinterpretations with the aid of a qualified therapist can help alleviate symptoms of depression and anxiety. Calm or safe place imagery creates a peaceful and safe place in your mind where you can rest, relax, and regulate. It activates our soothing system response and helps to lower blood pressure, reduce capacity to feel pain, slow our heart rate, and deepen our breathing. A link to a guided, safe, and calm place imagery exercise is also included in the description box below for you. It may also be used immediately after a period of purposeful breathing to help consolidate feelings of calm and security. A third method of cultivating our soothing system is to begin to set healthy boundaries for work and relaxation. Remember, maintaining a healthy balance between your drive, threat, and soothing systems is a journey, not a destination. If you are in drive mode a great deal, consider ways in which you might find balance by gently applying the parasympathetic brake. This might be ensuring that your personal goals are smart, specific, measurable, achievable, realistic in nature, and timed, and taking a moment to stop and celebrate small wins. Taking regular rest breaks is very important for healthy and optimal productivity, even if this is taking a regular 5-minute time out for mindfulness practice or purposeful deep breathing during a busy day. Making time for exercise and spending quality time with friends or those you love is also beneficial alongside these changes and can all help put the brakes on our drive and threat systems and maintain balance. Dr. Gilbert's work in this area led to an approach called compassion-focused therapy, or CFT. It focuses on developing your innate compassionate mind to soothe both yourself and others. When we approach ourselves with kindness instead of self-criticism, it can lead to huge shifts in our emotional regulation. If you experience difficulties with self-criticism, shame, or guilt, and are spending a great deal of time in your threat system as a result, you may also wish to explore working with an accredited or licensed therapist trained in compassion-focused therapy who can help support you to develop a kinder relationship with yourself and enhance your ability to activate your soothing system. Or, if you prefer, there are various self-help resources that can help foster greater self-compassion, including books by Dr. Gilbert, and you can check these out and some self-help exercises in the description box below. Understanding emotional regulation systems theory is a powerful tool for self-awareness and emotional management. Our threat, drive, and soothing systems are all designed to help us survive and are strongly correlated with different emotions and physiological reactions. It doesn't offer quick fixes, but it provides a framework for understanding the why behind our emotions and empowers us to take charge of our emotional well-being to help keep these three systems in balance. What resonated with you in this video? Please share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. If you also like this video, please consider subscribing. We release videos like this every week to help you take care of your mental health and improve your well-being. Thank you for watching, and I will see you again in the next video.